Welcome to the Millionaire Mentorship Podcast. We discuss real estate investing, entrepreneurship, and business to help you retire and become financially free. Make sure you share this podcast with someone who could benefit from it and leave us a 5-star review. It truly helps me out. This show will mentor you towards financial freedom. If I can do it, so can you.
Welcome to the Troy Kearns podcast, where we talk all things real estate, business, entrepreneurship. Today, I've got one of my good friends and students and an entrepreneur, Doug Williams. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Man, I want to hear about your story. I think everybody else deserves to hear about it. You just moved out here from Oregon.
Yeah.
Before that, what was Doug Williams all about?
So I came from Oregon, obviously. I lived there my entire life. I was born in California. My parents moved up at a young age. I grew up in a less than desirable neighborhood, and I hung out with the crowds, right? I did what the kids in my neighborhood did, and it slowly brought me down a very negative path.
Weren't you in the military though?
I was, yeah. So I joined at 17. What ended up happening is I wasn't going to graduate high school. They found out.
You weren't valedictorian?
Oh, no. Sophomore year, they were like, you're for sure not going to make it. So you need to figure something else out. And the only options I had was a GED or go to military school.
So you were a little bit of a ruffian throughout?
Oh, yeah. I've always been this way.
We're not anymore.
Well, a little bit less. I've came down in my 30s for sure.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is they were just like, you're not going to make it. And I chose military school. And went through military school.
You went to military school?
I went to military school, yes.
Were you sent there?
I voluntarily went, forcefully told that I should go.
By your parents?
Yeah, well, the parents, the schools, it was either GED or do that.
So what were you getting in trouble for?
Drugs, gangs, all the stuff.
What gang were you in?
I was affiliated with some, but
the Crips, the Bloods, or
no, there was like GDs.
What does that stand for?
Gangster Disciples.
You were a gangster disciple.
I wasn't that type.
Were you like Antifa? Isn't
no. It's definitely the opposite of Antifa. I wasn't really. So I didn't join any of them. I just hung out with a lot of them, and
What sort of things were you doing?
Drug running, selling drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Weed, crack, heroin.
Were you using them?
Eventually, yeah, I got into using them. So I got into using heavily. It started out with pain medication. What
kind of pain medication?
Oxycontin, Vicodin, stuff like that.
For some sort of pain, or?
No, never. No, it started.
So you didn't get some random neck injury and decide? No. It was just freedom of choice, and you're gonna.
No, so and this is kind of where the entrepreneurial world ties in, right?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with a lot of money. My parents, were middle class, working people, and I didn't always get everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And so what I had to do is I had to make money, regardless of where that came from, and so I was selling weed out of Dairy Queen.
So it starts with weed.
Yeah, it starts with weed. Starts with it was really just a lifestyle. I just enjoyed the rush. The rush of the exciting stuff, right? Totally. It's just driving fast cars, driving.
I hear you, man.
Any of that stuff, man. So I've always been into the rush.
Yeah.
And the excitement of stuff, and drugs did it, right? And it also helped me with the other side of I made money. And I made pretty good money, except what is it? Al Capone always says, "Don't get high on your own supply." So I don't remember.
I think it might have been Snoop.
Snoop, shout out to Snoop.
I don't know. It was somebody.
Yeah. Somebody says,
"Don't get high off your own supply."
And unfortunately, I didn't take that business advice. I was a young entrepreneur trying to make it in the world, and I didn't take that advice, and just. Man, led down the wrong path. I was always a good kid. I was always smart. I always knew what the right thing and wrong thing to do was.
So you had a good moral compass. You just it was broken.
Yeah. My parents instilled the moral compass in me from a very young age. I knew what was right.
Well, you and your dad are tight.
Yeah.
Your dad was in the program too. Mm-hmm. You paid for him. He moved out here with you.
Yep.
He's like your best friend. I love
my dad. My dad is my hero, my role model.
That's
all
awesome.
Of that stuff. So. I think every kid, every guy at least, we bucked the system, and at least I did. And
Not every, but I would say a lot of us.
right, a lot of us will. And then my dad was the system at that time. And what I realized is once I got older, my dad
he's very straight and narrow.
Oh yeah, my dad is very by the book. He like keeps in the book, very straight.
He's the only side note. He was in our program, and he was the only guy to ever read a loan paperwork, the entire 50-page document of the loan paperwork. And the guy who was the banker, the attorney for the banker, said they've been using the same document for like 20 years, and nobody had ever read it.
Yeah.
Your dad caught the mistake. That's how by the book he was.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
is.
Yeah, is still, yeah. And so, you know, I just wanted to make my own path, and eventually made my path and made decisions that led me into a lot of bad areas, and just learned, right?
So let's talk. Okay, so you go to military school, and then you go to the military. You go to the Army?
Army, yep.
So what was your MOD?
I was combat MP, 31 Bravo.
Combat
MP.
and military police? Oh, so you're going to be a drug dealer to a police officer?
Yeah.
Sounds like
absolutely.
Sounds like pretty much normal.
Yeah, that was pretty normal.
So, and how long were you in?
So I did 4 years. Yeah.
And at that point in time, are you just drinking or using drugs in the military?
All of it. Yeah.
You're still doing all of it in the military.
Yep.
So it didn't tame you down. It's kind of like Denzel Washington with American History X when he's going and running drugs from Thailand.
Nope, nothing stopped me.
So you went through the military, and you didn't show up positive on drugs.
Correct, because I was in military school before.
So you were clean when you went into the military.
Yes.
So, and then
I got rocking again.
You got rocking and rolling. So where were you stationed?
So I actually went to Fort Leonard Wood. Was in Alaska. Did a lot of tours.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. The problem for me was I was living a double life, right? Like I was 18, right? I still wanted this exhilarating lifestyle, but then also I had to live this like honorary way and like have this moral compass. And I was just like Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde, like all day. Yeah. And so by night I was, what
were you doing at night?
Hanging out with the drug dealers, doing all the stuff. And,
people knew, I'm sure.
Not for a long time. Not for a long time.
What did they think you were doing, working at the gym?
No, I just did my own thing. I mean, I didn't really have anybody that checked on me, did any of that stuff. So I just led the life I wanted to live.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. Mm-hmm. So you get out of the military. This is where we talked the other day. You were over at my house for a football game. We were eating some food during Thanksgiving time, and you were telling me some shit, and I was like, "Holy crap, man!" I think the reason I want to talk about it, first of all, is not to make you feel bad, look bad, but I know you're in recovery and you're living a clean life, and I think that your story could inspire a lot of people, that I haven't drank in 17 years. Yeah. And it's one of the things that if I didn't stop drinking, I don't know where my freaking life would be. But,
yeah, absolutely.
And I know that you tell me, and you were way crazier than I was, man. So you were talking to me, tell me where you got, what did you end up doing? How far did you get? What kind of drugs were you doing? Tell me a little bit about the stories you were telling me the other day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got to the bottom of the barrel, right? Like my life, it wasn't a slow turn for me. It wasn't like I gradually got worse and like all of a sudden was like real bad. It was like a straight down. And we were hanging out with gangs, driving to Mexico, picking up everything you can think of, coming back, kidnapping, everything. Like the complete moral degradation of your life, like everything, every moral compass that I knew was wrong, I passed that. And it was all for drugs and money. And I just thought this is how I was going to go. I did not have a life expectancy past 21.
Was that in your brain too?
In my mind, I was like, I'm going to die before I'm 21. And I was okay with it.
Yeah.
And it was just a complete distortion of reality because of drugs.
Yeah. What was your favorite drug?
All of them. Yeah, but my favorite was probably heroin.
Why did you like heroin?
I could sleep. Yeah. I could pretend that the world that I was living wasn't real.
Right.
I could pretend that it was just all a fantasy. It was just all this make-believe Disney-esque lifestyle that never really actually did anything.
How'd you take it?
Oh, every way. Towards the end, I got into shooting.
Yeah.
I was always one of those addicts that was like, I will never do this.
Yeah.
It was my yet, right? Like,
Yeah.
as they talk
Yeah.
about, it was in the program, in a lot of 12-step programs, they talk about like the yets.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't done it yet.
And I haven't done this yet. I will never do this. And
Yeah.
then yet is, and it will happen. It will eventually happen if you continue to go down that path, it will eventually happen.
So what happened that made you turn it all around?
So funny story is, I ended up sleeping in a dog bed. So I just told the story the other day too. So I was on this really big drug bender, out in Estacada, Oregon. And,
What do you mean? Like, what's that? Visually paint that picture for what is a drug bender? Because I know my last time drinking was a bender.
yeah.
So like I was like drunk for like 48 hours straight and like,
Yeah.
so
It was like a 3-day mixture of like coke, crack, heroin, like just recycling, right? So like just doing,
wake up, do coke.
stay awake, do heroin because I liked the feeling, and then do coke again so I could get back up. So it was just like this bender, right? This crazy bender. And what happens if you stay up for 3 days is you just go into a complete mental psychosis.
So you were in psychosis.
Probably, yeah. I was paranoid about stuff that probably wasn't real.
Like people sawing through your roof and shit.
Like people were stealing from me, were taking stuff from me, and to be fair, the people I were hanging out with was probably stealing from me. to be completely fair about the paranoia.
Yeah.
And so I decided to walk home, and was walking home in the rain. Oregon rains all the time, right?
Yeah.
So walking home in the rain, and it's probably a 15-mile walk, something like that. I realized through that walk that like nobody cared about me.
Wow.
Nobody called me. My parents didn't know where I was. The girl that I had that I thought I was going to marry, like, wasn't there. And nobody loved me. Like, I didn't matter to the world.
That's
anymore.
very similar to the feeling that I had. So you felt 100% alone.
Yep. What ended up happening was it was simply like I was all alone. Nobody cared about me. I didn't matter to anything. And the only thing that brought me any comfort was the drugs in my pocket.
So what did you do next?
So I got home. What I found out later is my parents moved. They were moving to Hillsboro to kind of get away from the lifestyle and hoping that I would go. Uh-huh. And they told me the week before, I have no recollection of it, that if I wanted to stay clean, I'd have to go.
Yeah.
And if they didn't want to talk to me again if I stayed in Gresham.
Yeah.
So I was walking home. I got back. I tried to open the window, and I couldn't open it, right? And for some reason, I didn't recognize that my bed and everything was gone, right? Like I didn't make the connection. And then I went around and I tried to use the key on the door, and it didn't work. And the only way to get back into the house, the only warm place I had to go, was through a doggy door that was like this big. Mm-hmm. And I was small enough at that time.
What did you weigh?
Oh man, maybe 150, soaking wet.
Yeah.
And,
so you were a tweaker.
Oh, I was bad. I wasn't eating. I was eating milkshakes and trolley eggs. What's
a trolley egg?
They're so good. You gotta have them.
What is it?
I still love them. So they're like the gummy worms, but they're like wrapped in like a sour. Shout out to Nestle. They're like wrapped up in this like sour shell. They're so good.
So you're just a sugarhead at this point.
Oh, just a sugarhead.
You're like this.
No nutrition.
Okay.
Nothing. And so I get through and lay on the dog bed. Did the last drugs that I had in my pocket.
Yeah.
And was just like, I'll go get more tomorrow. And I remember my dad coming through the door, opening the garage door, and like start crying. And saying...
So he saw you there.
He saw me there. So he thought in his head that I chose to go get clean. And I had no recollection of it. And so he's like, so you're going to come with us? And I just said, yeah. And moved out to Hillsboro, and I went to counseling. I went to therapy. I did all of the stuff that they recommend. I didn't think I was that bad. So, like, I wasn't going to go do meetings. I wasn't going to go do 12-step program or anything like that.
I think there's a little bit of that in all of us. It's like, I don't need this. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I was stubborn, hard-headed. I was 20 years old, So I was like, I can still take on the world, not realizing that like I've completely destroyed everything around me.
Right.
And so I get over there, I start going to counseling, and really what happened is towards the end of the year, I was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
I wasn't working the program. I wasn't working on my
So this is after you get clean.
After I get clean. So after I get clean, I was like, I wasn't doing anything for myself. I was just like kind of trying to get a job and realized that like I have a bad record, that I'm probably not going to get a job anywhere good.
What's on your record?
Nothing now.
What was before?
A lot of drug charges. Yeah, a lot of drug charges.
Okay, so you were getting picked up, locked up, let out, picked up, locked up, let out.
Yeah, I didn't get it that much, but it was enough. The 2 charges that I got were big enough that they...
Non-hireable.
Oh, yeah, not hireable at all. No, I wasn't desirable at all. Yeah. And to anyone, really. And as an employer now, I understand, like, why people would say that. Like, why...
Oh, you don't want this guy? It looks like...
Right, yeah, like... upstanding member of society. Last week he got picked up for distribution. I understand why they wouldn't do that now. So we go out there and we're in Hillsboro. I'm getting better. Yeah. Like I'm gaining weight. I'm working out. I'm getting better just by the nature of like being away from drugs. Right. Right. Just staying away.
You're breaking the habit.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of it is habit, right? It's
Absolutely.
Like when you're doing anything, when I was drinking, it was habit. And then you go back to your habit. So you're now in a new environment. Mm-hmm. They said a lot of people when they left Vietnam, they were on heroin, a lot of those people out there. Mm-hmm. And when they came back, they got clean just from being out of that same environment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it was just being around normal people. Okay. Right. I was so used to being around this society of people that were, the dereliction of life, right? They're essentially the bottom of the barrel, right? And so a couple things happened, and it happened pretty simultaneously. As I was going to counseling, my counseling ran out because the insurance wouldn't pay for any more. So they were like, well, you have group therapy you can go to. And I was like, I don't want to talk to a bunch of guys. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do that. I ended up doing it. It was one of my yets, right? Like, yets aren't always bad. Yeah. I'm just not going to do group therapy. And then I ended up doing group therapy. Right. And then they started asking me to go to meetings with them. There was like kids my age that were doing what I was doing, and they're like, hey, you should come to these meetings with us and like hang out. I'm like, no, I'm not really interested. Yeah. And I was on a pretty hard track to like, and so I got clean August of 2012. And towards the end of the year, I was on a pretty hard track of like, if life doesn't get better by the end of this, I'm just going to go back to what I know. I'm just going to go sell drugs, go do whatever.
So you gave yourself an ultimatum?
Pretty much, yeah. And it was probably just because, like, I didn't want to use, but I didn't know what else to do. Like, this has been my whole life, right? So
your identity was...
My identity was wrapped in this. Yeah. And so I gave myself an ultimatum, and it was pretty funny. So I ended up going to a recovery-based meeting and did that. And it was cool because it was a late night meeting. Yeah. So everybody they were younger, they were my age, they were cute girls. Nice. And that was enough, right? Like,
yeah, they'll sober you up.
Yeah, drugs kind of took away the desire to be around people, especially women. Yeah. And for me, when I came back, I was ready to go. So, pretty girls around. Everyone's trying to stay clean. Like, this is where I wanted to be. So it kind of ingrained me real quick, right? Like, this is what I want. But I still had the ultimatum in my head, right? So I still had that idea that if it doesn't happen by the end of the year, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And
what doesn't happen?
If, like, something doesn't happen in my life, right? I didn't know what. Like, my idea back then is, like, I'd get a Honda Civic and maybe an apartment and, like, a general job or school. Like,
so you're feeling a little bit just defeated in general.
I felt like a nobody. Right. I felt like I wasn't important. Like all my friends in high school, the friends that I still had, that would like kind of talk to me or like, are you not gonna take all my money? Friends were, they were going to college, they were doing all this cool stuff, and I was just like trying to pick my life back together. Right. And so so what sort of ended up happening towards the end of 2012 was Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy hit New Jersey, New York area in 2012. And so this pastor that I haven't talked to in years, right? Haven't had a conversation with him in a long time. Called me out of nowhere. And he said, hey, I know you're, getting your life together and you're going back to school and you're doing all this stuff. What do you think about going to a disaster relief? And I'm like, I don't got anything else going on.
Yeah.
So that sounds great.
Yeah.
And so I talked to my parents, and my parents were hesitant to give me a phone and do anything, which to be fair is completely a right response. And, but I was like, look, this can be my Christmas present. This can be my birthday present, my Christmas present for the next couple of years. I just want to go do this.
Yeah.
And, so they got me a flip phone, put minutes on it so I could call back, and they got me a plane ticket out there. And so I went out and did that. And I remember sitting in those places and I realized that my life wasn't normal when I went around kids that were my age.
Yeah.
And started talking to them about shooting heroin and hanging out with hookers and doing drugs. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
My lifestyle that I've been living is just not normal.
Yeah.
And so I got back and I was like, okay, that was it. That was the God shot I needed to I don't want to go back and use. I want something.
So you got
different.
Confirmation that your decision to not use was the right decision.
Was the right decision. I think God had a action in that and put something in my life to say, hey, just hold on.
Yeah.
Just hold on for a second. We'll get you through this.
Yeah.
And Hurricane Sandy was a horrible thing. It was a complete disaster, but it saved my life.
Yeah.
And
what were you out there doing?
We were tearing floors up. We were ripping drywall down. We were, ripping wires out.
Just helping people.
Yeah, just helping neighborhoods. And it completely saved my life. So what ended up happening from all of that is I realized that I wasn't. I had the conscious realization that I wasn't going to be hireable. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to work at McDonald's. I didn't want to work at Burger King. So I started my first clothing company with a friend. So it was Global Grind Clothing.
Nice.
We started the clothing company. Did pretty well. We made money. It was.
You kind of got that whole spirit about you. You're into Pokemon cards.
I love everything. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a video. So let's fast forward to where you're at now, because I think you got sober. You're clean. You also just to kind of jump a little bit further, you also help other people get clean right now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So I it's a volunteer basis. I'm a part of a recovery community, and when asked to speak, I speak all over the country.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty great. I love it. I have people that I help. I have sponsees. I have a sponsor that I love. That when I need, I call. Yeah. When I need help to just kind of configure stuff. Life looks different today, right?
Yeah.
Almost 12 and a half years clean. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I can pretty much make decisions myself.
Right.
But if I need hey man, I don't know how to get through this.
Everybody needs a sounding board.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
No matter what. It's just somebody to talk to. Right.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're talking to yourself.
Right. Yeah. And that's not good. Yeah. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
I'll convince myself of doing wild stuff. And then I'm like, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, I'm like, that was terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Well, why are you talking to yourself this way?
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, I have people that are there for me all the time. I have people that love me and care about me and want nothing from me besides the best.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and I'm grateful for those relationships. So we continue to do it. I continue to help people when they ask, when they need it, and however I can.
Awesome. Well, that's a very inspiring message that you're at right now. So tell us, so you're 12 and a half years clean now. You start your entrepreneurship journey with a clothing company.
Drugs or entrepreneur.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're
legal.
You're
legal.
legit
Yeah.
entrepreneur. You were an entrepreneur way before you started a
Yeah.
business. I'm talking about something that you could legally do.
Correct. Yeah. So I started a clothing company.
And what did you do with that?
We ended up selling it to some other guys that wanted to keep going with it. And then we started a marketing company. We grew into a pretty big operation. Weed maps we worked with. We did a lot of It was when weed became legal.
Right.
We started heavily focusing on that, some old habits, right? And then I realized that didn't just fit with the moral compass that I was in anymore. Like, it was cool, it was fun, but like everyone's getting high around me, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah.
So got out of that. Eventually got into the restaurant world. Partnered up with a restaurant out in Oregon. We grew that. I did operations. I did accounting. I realized I loved accounting in that whole process. I went back to school.
Where'd you go to school?
PSU and Warner Pacific.
Well, that's a good school.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
So you went there. You got
A bachelor's in accounting. Yeah. So I went back to school. Got.
How'd that feel when you got a bachelor's in accounting, and however many years before you were, basically sleeping in the dog's bed, crawling through?
It's pretty cool, man. It's like you don't realize, even like mundane stuff. Like when I wake up and I hear my kid tell me he loves me.
Yeah.
Like that moment almost makes me cry every morning.
Right.
Like it's just like beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You're like, I don't deserve this. Right?
Yeah, no, I don't deserve any of this.
Yeah.
And then like the degree is cool, like the titles are cool, but like I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
It's just another step, right? It's just another step to like prove to myself that I'm not what I used to be, and like I can make a difference in life.
Yeah.
So
now, fast forward, you decide to do entrepreneurship. Tell us kind of what businesses you got going on now, what you're doing right now.
Yeah, right now, so I own an arcade company. I own a real estate company. I'm a real estate developer now.
Yes.
And I own a accounting company, 9 Line Accounting.
So talk to me about those businesses, what you like about each one.
Yeah, so I love the accounting world. I'll start with accounting. So I love accounting because if you know your numbers in your business, you know everything.
Totally. Do you think most business people know their numbers?
No.
Yeah.
I can almost 100% tell you that over 90% of companies.
Numbers scare you.
Yeah, well, it's scary to look. It's scary to look at reality, right? It's
sometimes
it's scary to be like, oh shit, my cash flow is bad.
Yeah.
What's the problem? And then, oh, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm buying too many cars. I'm going out to eat too much. I'm doing this too much.
Right.
My salary is too big.
Yeah.
Like, I had to have a conversation with a client last year. Like, you're pulling $140,000 a year out of your company. Your employees are not making nearly that, and why do you think they're all quitting? Like, knowledge is power, right? So the more I know about a company, I can tell you everything just by looking at the P&L.
Yeah.
At a company's P&L, I can look at it. I don't even need to know the industry that they're in, and I can tell how healthy that company is just by looking at that. And then also, so what we do is we're like a fractional CFO company. So we come in to these companies that are medium-sized companies that need some help. Maybe they have just a bookkeeper, but they can't afford, $150,000 a year CFO. Like, we come in, fill those places. We can do everything. Everything that your accounting team does, we can do. And I can tell you everything about your company. We can help with growth. We've had most of my clients grow over 30% just looking at numbers and guiding them through.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast right now. I am so happy that you are here. You are in the right spot to be getting inspired by other people that have just achieved their goals so that you can achieve your goals. Do me a favor. Leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us grow. And give us comments and feedbacks. We read those. It helps us grow. The most important person in this podcast is the listener, right? And so if you give us your feedback, it will allow us to create a better podcast for you. And make sure you enjoy the show and leave us a 5-star review. Can I ask you a personal question?
Let's go.
So right now, my bookkeeper is going to be leaving me. She's been with me for a long time, and she's just like tired. She's been doing it for a long time. And so now I'm in the process of trying to find someone. I'm interviewing these people. They take this basic bookkeeping test. They don't pass the bookkeeping test. Like, I need to go find somebody. I got my buddy who's actually a recruiter trying to recruit me people, but I need to find somebody like she's going to give me till the end of till February. So I have plenty of time, but I got a pretty big business, I think, and so I need somebody on site in here in Kansas City. What would you do if you were me to go find somebody?
Hire me.
Well, I need somebody in my office.
I don't think you do.
No, I do. Trust me. I do 100%. Like, it has to be a full-time position for me because of the amount of business that we're running.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'd be happy to have you look at it.
Yeah, we could absolutely look at it.
But I don't think you know how much shit is coming my way.
I think if you get somebody that's very good and knows what they're doing and can handle all of it, it's not that difficult.
Let's say I hire you, but let's say I don't hire you.
Don't hire me, yeah. So we're not hiring me. You're going to get somebody in here.
Yeah. Because I want somebody that I can have working for me versus... Because you were the first person I thought of, just to let you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need someone in the office.
Totally, absolutely. And so there's two things. So there's a lot of moms and there's a lot of like people, not just moms, but there's a lot of people that go and take a QuickBooks class and think they know accounting.
Yeah. Right.
You can't even do a basic T table, but you want to do people's actual books. It's not appropriate.
I've hired two. I've interviewed two of them. The one I looked up, she had foreclosures and bankruptcies. I didn't even bother with the second interview. The first one, great interview. Had her take the bookkeeping test. She got a 50%.
Yeah. So people need to understand that just putting places in categories isn't bookkeeping. It's not accounting. That's like.
Do you think I should advertise for an accountant versus a bookkeeper?
You should be looking probably for a controller.
A controller
position.
How much do I need to pay a controller out here in Kansas City?
Out here in Kansas City, you're probably looking between $60,000 and $80,000.
So I'm already paying that much. So it's not a stretch.
Right.
So with a controller, what do I get?
You'll get somebody that's more experienced in accounting. They'll generally have 5 to 10 years of experience, like heavy experience. You're in a world that's real estate too. So real estate accounting is a whole nother beast. So you'll need to find somebody that's specific in real estate.
That's really good advice.
That actually knows real estate accounting. You're dealing with the balance sheet more than you are the income statement.
Yeah.
You care about the income statement, obviously, but you're also dealing with the balance sheet. So most bookkeepers that you're going to find are only dealing with the income statement. They're only cash basis. You need to know somebody that knows how to do accrual, knows the difference of.
What's the difference between? Let's break that down. These are great little viral things. These will hit up viral if we ask this. What is the difference between accrual and what did you say?
Cash basis.
Cash basis. What's the difference between accrual accounting and cash basis accounting?
Yeah, so accrual accounting is going to be anything that uses invoices, billing, anything that's going to hit the balance sheet is going to be more accrual. Cash basis is the best way to explain it is kind of like a Burger King, right? Or like a taco shop on the side of the corner. Like you're not getting an invoice for the taco you bought. You're just straight up giving them cash.
Right.
So it's just very transactional. When I deal with like smaller real estate people, I generally will tell them you should do cash basis for a little bit because accrual basis is a little bit more difficult accounting.
Yeah.
And just like when you purchase a cost of good, right? So when you go purchase this paint, but it's going to be a flip, right? So if it's going to be a flip, you want to dump everything into the asset. So when you sell it, the income is smaller.
Yes. Even you could put even your administrative costs in there, correct?
Absolutely. So,
I learned that actually. This is funny that you're saying this. One of the guys that bought my owner finance deal, my Rainbow property in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've been to that one.
Yeah.
He was an accountant, and he's like, Troy, you need to bring your cost basis down. He's like, you could put your administrative staff in there on your flip if they're using a portion of their time to that specific flip to bring that down.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you're doing is accrual basis accounting. So that is going to be looking for somebody that knows how to do that.
So you would suggest go after someone who's already in the real estate industry.
Preferably.
That is a controller. Mm-hmm. Or what, like a CFO type of level?
DCFO, controller. So controllers are generally one step below a CFO. So they're generally going to be people that know all the accounting principles. They're generally going to be the people that know the bookkeeping.
This is great information, man. I feel so fortunate that you came in because I'm realizing that I am getting, when I say the word bookkeeper, I'm getting the lowest hanging fruit of anybody that's done basic books for somebody who's got a basic business. Mm-hmm. And when I'm looking for a controller, I'm getting the top tier of what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. So anytime you say bookkeeping, controllers aren't going to even look at you.
So would a controller be okay with entering all the stuff in? And
Okay. Yeah, they can do the menial stuff, like the day-to-day stuff. Or you can even hire a VA to do the menial stuff. But they'll know the harder stuff. And
will they know performas and stuff like that?
Yeah, they'll know all that.
This is a freaking life-changing moment for me right now, man. Like, I'm going to change exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because I'm already paying the big bucks.
Yeah.
You know, so I might as well just not try to, because I'm just trying to replace a bookkeeper with a bookkeeper, but I should be replacing a bookkeeper with a controller.
Your current bookkeeper has probably learned so much that
she still doesn't know 100% what she's doing. Like, even though she's fantastic, I can tell just by the way she does stuff that we're probably not doing everything the way it should be done for my best benefit.
Right. So she probably is right in that area of like, she's probably an account manager, like a little bit above a bookkeeper, right below a controller. If she learned just a little bit more, she could get into that controller area. So you're probably looking for that controller level, and they're going to be in that 80,000 range.
Okay. Hey, if you're looking for a bookkeeping job or a controller job in Kansas City,
hit them up.
Email me at tk@troykearns.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to your other businesses, I appreciate that information. That was very helpful to me.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I find the right person, and we could definitely talk about that offline another time. I'll show you what I've got going on there. But in terms of like your other businesses, I know the one that you get the most excited about is the video games. It seems like.
I do. I love the arcades. So yeah, the arcades is fun. We started that. Me and my buddy in Oregon started that. He's ran with most of it because I was doing other stuff. But yeah, I just love arcades. It brings out that imagination. Yeah. That like Disney imagination, right? Like I love Walt Disney. Not what the corporation has become, but I love like Walt Disney and his imagination and able to dream up of stuff and just make stuff fun. Yeah. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to do something that you love and that gets to bring that imagination out in you? Yeah. And arcades get to do that. Yeah. Nobody is mad at an arcade. Yeah. Like go if you're having a bad day, go put $20 in a machine and like go play.
Man, one of my favorite games growing up, and I stole all my stepdad's quarters and played it, Street Fighter 2. Oh, God. I was the dominant force of that game. Anytime I see Street Fighter 2, I go put a quarter in.
Yeah. And it's nostalgic, right? So it's like.
I think I actually want to buy that video game and put it in my.
They're cheap. Yeah,
where'd I buy
it? So there's a place in Captain's Auction in California. Moss Distributing might have something like that.
You can buy them. You can buy the machine, and they just make it this way for you these days.
Yeah, I mean, you can find like a Raspberry Pi and make one yourself.
What's a Raspberry Pi?
It's like it's like a USB
that you just plug into one of those machines.
Yeah, and then you plug it in. And
I definitely want to get like a Street Fighter 2. We got that play area. That'd be cool to play that with my son.
I actually have a machine that has. It's basically a Raspberry Pi. It has 20,000 old video games on it. And
I want to get one of those.
It might have. I'll look when I get home if it has Street Fighter on it. But I mean, I have like all the old Pokemon games. I have like all the old Nintendo games.
Yeah, I was more like that was my game, and then obviously I like the Sub-Zero. Whatever that one is.
Yeah.
All those games from
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was a great game of mine. And then I love those shooter games still.
Of course, everyone loves the shooter games. All guys love the shooter games.
I never got into like the GTA or anything like that, though. I've never been a gamer. I'm
a huge gamer.
What's your game to play right now?
Fortnite. Yeah, I stream Fortnite too.
Do you really?
Yeah, follow me at The Real Dougie on Instagram.
Really? Do you have a lot?
And TikTok, yeah. I have almost 61,000 followers on TikTok.
That's a hard one to grow.
TikTok is fun. I enjoy it.
I've been stuck at under 300,000 for a long, long time.
Yeah, you just got to break that cap, and once you break it, you're good.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that have been stuck though. Like even my TikTok coach has been stuck at like 880,000 for like 2 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Lives. They're pushing lives real hard. Anything over a minute is what TikTok cares about now. They don't want any videos under a minute.
We should probably load up our long form content on there then.
At least 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You get some 2 minutes, some 3 minutes, some minute and a half, stuff like that.
Things change all the time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go into how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
So I got on social media because I thought, I need to grow my audience first. I've been doing real estate for a long time. Yeah. Your wife and my wife know each other.
Like
my
friends,
wife, my wife was your wife's sponsee or
sponsor.
sponsor.
Yeah.
And so they met. So like when they were first getting together, I would see Kelly in my closet with my wife, and they'd be out, and that was like the only person. They were like thick as thieves, like just really tight. And then you guys got together. She moved to Oregon. She found some dude named Doug. Fell in love.
Beautiful blue eyes, dashing skin, wonderful hair.
For sure on all of that, man. And so I remember hearing about it. It's like, oh, she's really head over heels over this guy. You guys end up getting together. I had never met you at that point in time. You start following me, kind of trying to build a relationship. You guys are actually pushing me to start my program. Like, we want to go. We want to do what you're doing. Yeah. You guys are doing the Dave Ramsey thing at that point.
Yeah, we were
right?
doing Dave Ramsey. We did full Dave Ramsey. We got out of debt. We saving a bunch of money. We were doing all of it. And I just knew that 401ks weren't going to be it.
Yeah.
And that it's, I'm not going to rely on the government for anything. I'm not going to rely on the stock market. It wasn't going to do anything for me. So like, how do I build long-term wealth?
So you start hitting me up, and I'm like, and I remember my wife's like, when are you gonna start the program? They want to go. I was like, dude, I'm a slow and steady type of person. I'm gonna get there. I want to build this audience first and get there. But then we started it. But you already started getting going. You were ready to go. Like, so I was like, hey, let me introduce you to someone that can hook you up. I introduced you to Ryan Haywood.
Yeah.
You start buying properties in St. Joe.
Not knowing what I'm doing at all.
Yeah. You're an action taker.
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you joined the program. Mm-hmm. You were one of the first students, not the first students, but one of the secondary students, I would say, not the first group. No, you were.
I was in the first group. Yeah. I think there was like maybe one or two people that signed up before I did.
That's right.
So technically I'm not the first student, but I was there before all of them. So
yeah, you were there before all of them, and then we got you back in the program, and then you ended up moving out here.
Yep.
Real estate makes you move.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you chase where the good deals are. And plus, Kansas City, Missouri, this entire area, it's a great place to raise a family.
How many people told you that?
Once I got here, everyone's like, this is an amazing place to raise a family.
Well, we're both from the Pacific Northwest, and Oregon and Seattle are not much different.
No.
You got a bunch of liberal people.
Yeah.
A bunch of rain.
Yeah.
A bunch of rules. Like Oregon, you can't pump your own gas. You can't crush your own cans.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild out there. And it's just a bunch of government regulations. And when I was coming out here, everyone was like, oh, why are you going to Missouri? It's like just a bunch of hillbillies. It's just all of this. And I was like, you've never been to Missouri, obviously, because there's good food, it's great weather, there's a bunch of stuff to do.
Can we talk about the weather? It is wild. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's cold and sunny, and I'm wearing a half hoodie. This is great.
Yeah, because in Seattle and Oregon, it rains all the damn time.
All the damn time.
And in Vegas, it blows wind and it's hot a lot of the time, and then it's cold, which I didn't even check the weather when I moved out to Vegas. I didn't realize it gets cold there in Vegas. Right. And not to mention, you get allergies because the dust is blowing all over the place. Yeah. I came out here not expecting anything, and we love it.
Yeah, it's great.
So where are you living right now?
I live in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Okay, tell me about where you live, like your house and everything like that.
South St. Joe, so I live just on the outskirts of St. Joseph. We ended up buying a nice house. We live on 7 acres. We have chickens. I'm currently building a big half-acre pond in my backyard.
With your excavator?
Yeah, with not my mini. It's
gonna take you a while.
Yeah, that's gonna take a long time. I have some friends that have skid steers, and they come over and we have barbecues and bonfires and smoke cigars and dig holes.
So it's a better lifestyle.
Better lifestyle, yeah, absolutely. It's a better, more relaxed lifestyle. It takes me 15 minutes to get from one side of my city to the next side.
Yeah.
How amazing.
You know who else is from St. Joseph?
Eminem,
Walter Cronkite. It's a bunch of people think that Eminem's from Detroit. He's actually from St.
Joseph, Missouri. Yeah.
So you moved out here. How long have you been out here now?
A little bit over a year.
Okay.
A little bit over a year. Yeah.
And what do you think so far?
I'll never go back. I'll never go back.
Yeah.
I mean, we were planning on moving to Florida at some time.
So were we.
We were like looking. We've been looking at Florida for a long time, and I'm like, I don't want to move there. I don't want to leave Missouri.
Yeah, it's a pretty good place.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love everything about it.
Let's talk more about the weather, because I think Missouri gets a bad rap for weather. Like, people say it's cold. It literally, from March until end of November, the weather's
easily.
great.
Almost perfect.
Almost perfect. And
If we
then
can get rid of that humidity, or at least bring it down
I
a
don't
little
mind
bit.
the humidity.
I mean, it's good for my skin, but besides that, you know, I could do without it. I don't like that titty sweat.
Gotta lose the titties, man.
Yeah. Well, good barbecue. It's hard to lose the titties.
That's right. So you come out here. Talk to me about your real estate portfolio, where it's at right now.
Yeah, so we have 13 single families.
Started with how many?
0.
0.
Yeah, so I was 0. The first house I bought was a terrible deal.
Yeah.
Not because of it was not because of the wholesaler's fault. The price was actually good.
I did not review this deal. Just
You did not. Nobody reviewed it, to be frank. I just bought it.
Uh-huh.
It just had. I realized in that process, I don't like other people doing my work.
Yeah.
I don't like buying stuff that is done.
Yeah.
Because it's not to my standard.
Right.
And if you're gonna use done prices, I want it to be to my standard.
Right.
And so I quit doing that. I don't purchase anything that has.
That's a big change for you,
Any
bro.
contract has done anything.
I told you that in the beginning, and you're like, I don't know. I just want someone else to do it.
Yeah, no. I want it to be the worst house in the block. I will buy the worst house in the block. I won't buy one that people will work.
Are you still looking for deals?
I've slowed down.
But you got a big project coming up.
I do. So I slowed down. I've gotten away from single families, and I am turning into. Apparently, I'm a developer, according to the news.
Yeah, I saw you in the news, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we're right now working on a project in St. Joe, and it's going to be about a 90-unit luxury apartment complex. St. Joseph doesn't really have a lot of those luxury, really nice apartment complexes, so we're deciding to bring something to the market that it doesn't have.
Nice.
There is one other one, American Electric, and it's a beautiful building. They did a great job with it. And so we're just coming in to build more into that market. St. Joseph is a really cool town. There's a lot of major companies, Herzog, Mosaic, Purina, Alltech. It's a huge meatpacking area, grains, all of that. So there's a lot of people that live there.
Right.
And a lot of people that don't want to buy a house because they're like nurses aren't going to be there for a long time. They're 4 years.
Right.
But they don't want to live in the hood.
Right.
So what do they do?
The St. Joe hood, to be honest with you, is not really the hood.
No.
I mean, I'm from Las Vegas, or I'm
No.
from, like, people say, oh, it's the hood. Like, oh, how are you doing with Kansas City? I'm like, I lived in Las Vegas for 15 years.
I lived in North Portland. I lived in Rockwood. Like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'll leave my truck running with my keys in it. I don't care. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So, like, the crime out here is basically nothing.
Right.
People are friendly, all that stuff. So anyway, so we're working on this project. It's gonna be about a 90-unit apartment, luxury apartment. We're bringing stuff that nobody has done in that area, and frankly, maybe even in apartment complexes. So we're gonna start. I'm bringing my arcade world and my vending experience into the apartment complexes. So
Which is a great way to build your NOI.
Oh, absolutely. Just increase that bad boy as much as I possibly can.
Because for those people who don't know, the value of a single family real estate deal is based on comparables. The value of a commercial piece of real estate deal is not the replacement cost or anything like that. It's the NOI.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's got apartment buildings and he's capped at rent, you can bring other revenue in through like deals with like Cox and deals with like fiber. You can make a little bit of money there. Maybe the laundry machines, maybe a gym. But you're looking for the big money because video games are big money.
Video games. So we're gonna have different arcade games downstairs. People can hang out. We're working on right now having a full golf simulator, golf, baseball, shooting, all of that simulator downstairs. It's a $60,000 machine, but we have it budgeted, so we're gonna try.
I would totally open one of those up with you here.
Oh, they're great.
No, I'm just saying, if you ever wanted to do something like that,
I have the connections.
I would do. I just don't want to run it, but I know that you can do those things with like these days where you just like they're like, I guess, employee-less arcades, right?
Yeah, all my arcades are manless. We don't use employees for any of them, so we use magnets on doors and timers and all that stuff. So back to the apartment complex. So we're doing that. We're having vending machines that can make hamburgers. Fresh hamburgers, yakisoba noodles, salads. We're having a robot coffee in there that can make coffee for you. It can do soft serve ice cream.
When's this whole thing go down?
Our projected close date is April 1st. So we can get the cameras out there and the boys, and we can.
Yeah, man.
Everyone can be out
there.
So
you're closing April 1st. 2025.
2025.
How much does the property cost?
Right now we are in contract for $900,000.
How big is it?
It's 80,000 square feet, a little bit over 80,000 square feet.
What is it? Does it need everything, right?
It needs everything.
You're gutting the whole thing.
Everything's gutted. Every wall besides structural walls are coming out.
And then you're going to use historical tax credits.
Historical tax credits.
Is it on the National Registry?
It will be. We're working on that right now.
If you need any help on that, let me know. I know the
absolutely. We're working with some firm right now. We haven't signed contracts, but we're talking to them.
I'll give you a couple people.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Bob Mayer out here who can get you on that.
That'd be great. Yeah. We're working real hard. Historical tax credits. I didn't know anything about those. And
do you know what they are now?
I know what they are now. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell the listening audience what they are.
So historical tax credits are basically buildings that are obviously old buildings, and what they do is they want to have like be on the National Registry.
That's the first thing you have to have.
That's the very first part of it. You have to get a phase one inspection done, so environmental, inside all done. Once you get on the historical registry, there is a phase two, and that's basically, are your windows in code, is your building appropriate, like all of the stuff. And then there's a couple different type of historicals on like what level you want to go to, right? So you can just have the area is historical. You can have the outside of the building is historical, and then 100% historical.
Yeah.
So 100% historical is hard because we're in 2024 and trying to get a building to what it was like in 1901 is nearly impossible. It can be done, but it's hard. And then, so what ends up happening is you get federal tax credits. I believe federal is 50. I believe.
No, the total is 45. So you get 25 on the state and 20 federal, or vice versa. It's one of the two.
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So just to break it down, because I know you're new to it. It's basically 45 cents on the dollar of whatever money you spend towards that renovation is going to be. So I'll give you an example. In this building, we're probably going to turn it into apartment buildings. Mm-hmm. So let's say we paid 5.2 for it. Let's say the renovation's $15 million. It's inside. Let's say a portion of that, like you said, goes to the historical tax credits. So from that portion, we can then sell those tax credits. So let's say it's just 50 cents is easy, or 50 cents on the dollar is easier to say. So let's say that we do a $20 million renovation, take $10 million, then you can sell that, because that's the 50% part, or 45 cents, so we'll say it's 4.5. You can sell that to Commerce Bank as a credit for 90 cents on the dollar and use that to fund the loan.
Correct. Yes.
So
you can sell the state side. You can't sell the feds. You have to sell the feds to an investor. There's a workaround.
Yeah, there's something, but we're both not experts on it. Yeah. But I will tell you that it's a fantastic way.
Oh, it's great.
Most of the ways to do these types of building, they only pencil if you can get the historical tax credits.
100%.
So what's your renovation look like on this deal?
We're going to be all in with reno about $11.5-12 million to get it done. And just like you said, the historical tax credits are going to make that possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to get this building was put up in 1937.
How'd you raise the capital?
I got my dad involved. My dad's a partner. We have some local partners. I've been like very diligent of like keeping it local.
Yeah.
I could go to California. I could go to my friends in Florida, Vegas, any of these guys, and say, hey, let's raise all the money out of state, and we'll just sell this place in 3 years, 5 years, right?
Right.
But I've done what I really want to do is I want to make an impact on St. Joseph. I'm like, how can I make an impact on St. Joseph and make this place a better place and not let it become some out of town investors that don't care and they just want the money.
Yeah.
We want this to be for our community and our families and to make the people around us better. So everybody that's invested in this project is local. Every person cares about this building. Every person wants St. Joseph to be better. And we want to do it for the community.
Who's funding it?
We are. We're self-funding all of it. So our banks.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working right now with MSA Bank. They have worked with historical tax credits. They've done, big loans. They have a relationship with one of our partners. We have everyone from a pastor to somebody that's retired.
Nice.
In this project.
Are you nervous about it at all?
No, I'm so excited.
Man,
I'll
be nervous once you own it because this property is the tough.
Look, it's one of those, and you understand, right? Like the entrepreneurial world, we chase that feeling.
Just true.
I love that feeling of like almost going bankrupt.
Oh yeah, and what's so funny is I'm listening to. I think I told you this the other day. I'm on this Elon Musk bender right now, and for those people who don't know, Elon Musk has almost lost everything multiple times. Yeah. And his back's, he had to borrow money from his brother, borrow money from this guy, borrow money from that guy. And now he's the richest guy in the world by a mile.
Oh, yeah.
$400 billion. Yeah. And I would imagine he'll be a trillionaire.
He'll probably be the first.
The first trillionaire, probably, I would say, in the next 5 to 10 years.
Easy.
Just because he's controlling the whole web in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the future is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Tesla stock is just going up insane.
I think Tesla will end up being his smallest holdings.
Probably.
Because, with SpaceX and with
Starlink.
I think Starlink's going to be the biggest.
Oh, yeah.
And then Twitter, or X, I think will be the second biggest.
I think X is what he will eventually do. Have you heard of like not WhatsApp, but
yes, I know what you're talking about. WeChat or you're talking about the Chinese brand. It's the Chinese one. Comment below if you know what it is.
Yeah, comment below. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
But like that.
It's the China one. He's going to do the same one.
He's going to start doing a selling platform on TikTok where people can live stream and sell stuff. So like what TikTok does a really good job about that. People can live stream and sell stuff on TikTok.
But the difference between X and TikTok and Instagram and TikTok, or X and Instagram, X and Facebook, X and everything is the people who go to X are seeking news. They're seeking information. They're seeking unfiltered information. If you're going on the other ones, you're kind of just looking to follow some influencer. Yes. Whereas when X is my new platform. Yeah. I don't even when I first got on social media, I just got on everything to learn about it. And I would scroll on Instagram. I don't like scrolling on Instagram. I don't like scrolling on TikTok. I love reading the news on X.
Oh, absolutely. Because you're getting unfiltered everything. I think I'll give a shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. He's become less of a simp through when he got into jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I think he got around some people that have some testosterone and started like, oh, I've been doing this wrong. And he's starting to buck the system a little bit.
Well, he's bucking the system because he saw Trump be a badass stand up and say, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he just donated $1 million to his inauguration fund for the...
And Elon, these people are standing up. And I think it's a little bit of a crowd thing too, right? Like now that he has somebody that is like Elon is telling everybody to kick rocks. He's like, oh, I can do this too. Like, I'm not going to get canceled by all of these people. Everyone's so scared to be canceled today that they're not willing to speak. Look, I'd rather tell everybody what I think and you hate me than shut up and sit in the corner. I will not live that way.
It's tough. You have to toe the line a little bit, I think.
Of course. You're not going to be crazy. Yeah. You're not going to say some wild shit, but like also like if it's true, there's truth. And there's truth. Like,
well, I think people are so afraid to the school environment, this environment, and it's we're all inclusive. We got to be dealing with women and men's sports. It's like this is lunacy, man. It's like absolutely crazy right now. Yeah. So we need to get back to the basics, just back to being nice to each other, not putting up with bullshit. Like letting these people with masks go and break shit and do intimidation. Wow. Yes.
And that's why bringing back to the video games and like streaming and stuff, like that's why I love that community so much is I don't care what your politics are. Like I don't care who you are or what you stand for or any of that. let's just play video games and have fun.
Yeah.
And like, let's just talk about how this guy just shot me, one pumped me, and I'm like, how did that happen? Now I'm pissed about that. Yeah. And it's like, like the world has become so separated. Yeah. Like we're all the same.
We are.
Like I don't have blue hair, but I probably still feel the same way as somebody with blue hair does.
Yeah.
Like we need to do something about this mental health issue. We need to do something about this drug issue. We need to, as a community, and stop relying on the government to protect us because they're not. They don't care.
Well, I think there's a lot of those rule abiders who are like, well, the government says it must be true. Take your shot. Do your this. Do your that. It's like. The government ain't looking out for anybody but themselves. You know what I mean? They're not looking out for you. Otherwise they'd be paying you.
Right.
And if you trust that to happen, then you should probably move somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, Social Security obviously is not doing well.
Are you excited about the next presidency?
Yeah. So I like Trump. I think that he's not the nicest guy in the world. I think he's a New York guy. Mm-hmm. But like. I was talking to somebody about this, and it makes sense to me. Is like, I do not want, a gardener to be leading me to war. I want the most savage motherfucker that's gonna kill everything and not care about anyone's else's feelings besides mine, leading this country. I want the guy that's gonna put the United States before anything, and not care about anyone else, and he's doing it.
I would echo that. I think that you need somebody. The one problem about politicians is that they've never done anything. They've never written a check. Yeah. They've never had an employee. But they're going to tell businesses how to act. Their business is government, and they just create more of it. And Trump's like, and all these other guys are like, yo, we're $32 trillion in debt or whatever we're at right now, and this shit needs to stop. We've got 450 government organizations. Mm-hmm. They're just stripping everybody's rights. I mean, the minute the Fed is going to go in and do digital currency, you're done. I mean, the TSA, the this, the that, the other thing, like, give us our rights back, give us our liberties back, give us our freedom. And I think that's what Trump stands for in my body. And I like the way he talks. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, man.
Yeah. He steps on his dick sometimes, but it's all right.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do. And really, our government was never meant to do this. Yeah. Like what it currently is and what it has been the last probably 150 years it was never meant to be ran by lifelong politicians. Yeah. Our government is for the people, and that's it. Yeah. And they are supposed to be local people. Really, they're people that represent the people of the United States. They're not these guys that just sit behind a chair and are in Congress for 50 years and pretend they know what they're doing. Yeah.
Well, Doug, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your journey and your story. I know we went a little bit long today. How do people follow you if you're still on? I know we've been going a long time. If you're still on here right now, how do people follow your story, follow your journey? And if somebody needs help, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is _. My TikTok is TheRealDougie. You can go to my website. My accounting company is www.ninelineaccounting.com. And reach out to me any way you can. It's pretty easy to get a hold of me.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. It's been great.
Appreciate you, man.
It's been great to get to know you. Been great to see your sons. Yeah. I had a lot of good time with them when they come over.
They're a blast.
They are a blast. Yeah. And I hope that you continue to do well and continue to challenge yourself. And I'm sure your dad's proud of you. And I know that you spoke at our last mastermind and you're a big fan favorite. You got all teared up and everything like that.
I cry sometimes. I'm really happy I didn't cry right now. So I'm a crier now. It's all right. I cry at Shark Tank. So
do you?
Oh yeah, I do. I'll cry. Okay. Like a freaking baby at Shark Tank.
Wow. All right. Peace. Man, I am so happy that you turned into the Millionaire Mentorship Podcast. It's something that I've been working on for over 3 years right now. We're up to 150 podcast episodes. A lot of them are virtual. A lot of them are in studio, which is what we prefer. If you have a guest that you think that should be on our podcast, all you got to do is comment who it is, and we'll reach out to them. Or if you want to reach out to them and reach out to us, we'd love to have them on a show. We're looking for entertaining, inspirational people that, just like you hear on the podcast every week, that can bring value and help our listening audience achieve their goals. If that's something for you, comment down below and let us know.